Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, 16th day of April, 20th day of Nissan. Here we go. Well, this is the Erev of the last days of Pesach, and we need to explain some of the laws that are coming up for the last days of Pesach. Let's do an important contrast here. You may or may not know that throughout all the days of Sukkot, we then recited the entire Hallel each day. And you may have been, I hope you've been noticing that every day after the first 2 days of Pesach, on Chol HaMoed Pesach till the end of Pesach, we say the half Hallel, which means we leave two of the paragraphs out. And something's different about the latter days of Pesach, from Chol HaMoed through the end, different than the last days of Sukkot. Again, because Sukkot we say the entire Hallel throughout the entire time, and on Pesach we say half Hallel from through Chol HaMoed and the last days of Pesach. Another place where this same kind of distinction is going to show up is that on the latter days of Sukkot, which is Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, you will see people saying the bracha of Shehecheyanu at Kiddush. You will see the ladies saying Shehecheyanu when they light the candles. When the Kiddush is recited on the last days of Pesach, there's no Shehecheyanu recited, and also when the ladies light the candles, there's no Shehecheyanu recited. Why the difference? Well, it basically boils down to things like this. On Sukkot, every single day of Sukkot was kind of, sort of, its own distinct Yom Tov in some which way. First of all, on every day of Sukkot, a different korban, a different sacrifice was brought in the temple. In that way, each day was sort of kind of its own distinct unit, and everything had that newness and freshness of being an entirely new Yom Tov. And then when the last days of Sukkot arrived, they were Shmini Atzeres, which is really kind of sort of an entire new Yom Tov, just fits right on to the end of Sukkot. And so, of course, it was very appropriate to treat each and every day as its own distinct thing, and therefore it got its full Hallel. And when you get to Shmini Atzeres, you're saying Shehecheyanu because you're really bumping into a new Yom Tov at that point. That's not what happens at Pesach time. Pesach, the same sacrifice was brought throughout the entire holiday of Pesach, and so there's not like the freshness of saying like there's a new Yom Tov hitting us, there's a new Yom Tov hitting us. It's all a continuation of the same thing. And the latter days are just a continuation of the Pesach that already started at the beginning. No Shehecheyanu is recited on the latter days of Pesach because you're not in a new Yom Tov at all. Also want to point out, it does play a role here that the last day of Pesach, which in outside of Israel is the 7th and 8th day of Pesach, they are really the day that the Kriyas Yamsuf happened, which was the day of devastation for the Egyptians. And of course, it was great joy for us, but that has to be factored in. There's a whole different tone to the last days of Pesach than to Shmini Atzeres. Shmini Atzeres is known as the Ikvu Imi Yom Echad. God says, please stay with me one more day for a special, distinct Yom Tov called Shmini Atzeres. That's not what's happening on the 7th day of Pesach. 7th day of Pesach, we are looking at the continuation of the holiday, the day of Kriyas Yamsuf, which was amazing, vast destruction for the Egyptians, and so it is an entirely different kind of experience. So in short, halachically, the ramification to us is half Hallel for the last days, and the Chol HaMoed that we just been through, and also no Shehecheyanu on the last days in the candle lighting, and no Shehecheyanu in the Kiddush. Hope you have a very meaningful Yom Tov. And then there are some very important laws that you need to hear from us right after Pesach about when to eat your chametz and what chametz not to eat, and better stay tuned right after Yom Tov. Have a wonderful Yom Tov, and log on again after Yom Tov for more. Bye-bye.